Comfort is the most dangerous adversary a man will ever face. It doesn't strike like a sword. It doesn't burn like fire. It doesn't scream or roar. It whispers. It coaxes. It seduces you with stillness, with warmth, with the lie that you have done enough, that you are safe, that you can stop now. But that whisper, if obeyed, will cost you everything. Everything you dreamed of, everything you were born to become, every ounce of power you ever hoped to hold. Comfort will take it, slowly, gently, until you no longer remember you had it. The man who bows to comfort never realizes what he's losing until it's too late. He lies in a warm bed, but his will weakens. He eats without hunger, but his drive fades. He laughs without purpose, but his spirit dies. You cannot build greatness in a state of ease. You cannot lead, conquer, or rise from the ashes of mediocrity if you have chosen the soft path. The world was never shaped by those who sat still. It was forged by those who chose battle over sleep, pain over peace, and pressure over pleasure. And that is the decision you must make every single day of your life, because comfort doesn't strike all at once. It creeps in like a sickness. First it takes your mornings. You stop waking early. Then it takes your habits. You skip the training, the reading, the sharpening of your edge. Then it takes your vision. You forget why you began, what you were chasing, what you swore you would become. It makes you forget that time is not your ally. Time is the battlefield. It is merciless, and comfort makes you waste it. Look around. The world belongs to those who are willing to suffer for their vision. Men who rose not because they were the smartest or the most talented, but because they were the most relentless. They rejected comfort like poison. They woke when the rest of the world slept. They starved for victory. They endured every scar, every bruise, every humiliation and setback, because they knew what comfort would never offer: glory. There are no shortcuts. There is no easy path. Every great man you admire, every legend you study, every empire that was raised from dust and despair was built not in the lap of comfort, but in the fire of discipline. They paid in blood. They paid in broken bones, sleepless nights, abandoned pleasures, isolation, and sacrifice. That is the price of power. That is the price of transformation, and it cannot be paid in comfort. If you feel tired, good. That means you are moving. If you feel pain, good. That means you are changing. If you feel fear, good. That means you are close to the edge where all greatness lies. You must learn to see discomfort not as the enemy, but as the forge that will shape you. You must learn to crave it, to walk into the storm and laugh, to stand in the fire and grow stronger. The world has no place for soft men. The world chews them up and spits them out, and worse than being broken is being forgotten. So don't be comfortable, be dangerous, be relentless, be the man who doesn't need motivation because he has discipline, be the man who doesn't need approval because he has purpose, be the man who walks into the darkness because he knows his light is enough. Because while others sleep, you train, while others celebrate, you grind, while others complain, you build. And when the time comes, when the battle arrives, you will stand ready. Because you chose to be forged in discomfort, there will be days when your body screams for rest, when your mind pleads for silence, when the world tells you that you've done enough. That is the moment, that is the hour of testing, that is the choice every warrior must make. Do you give in to the comfort, or do you rise in defiance? Do you take one more step forward, or do you sit back and wait to be forgotten? One path leads to glory. The other leads to regret, and regret is the heaviest chain a man can wear. It is not made of iron, but it crushes the soul. It is born not of failure, but of cowardice, of knowing you could have, should have, but didn't. All because comfort whispered that you could do it tomorrow. But tomorrow doesn't belong to you, it never did. You have today, you have now, and every second you hesitate is another second lost to the graveyard of unrealized potential. You were not made for stillness. Your bones were not crafted for soft chairs. Your spirit was not designed for half measures. You were carved from the same dust as warriors. You were born with the same fire as conquerors. But that fire must be fed with sacrifice. It must be protected from the cold wind of comfort, or it will die. And when that fire dies, everything dies with it. Your ambition, your intensity, your soul. Look in the mirror. What do you see? A man content with average, or a man ready for war, because life will test you, life will beat you, life will drag you through dirt and hell, but only discomfort can prepare you for that. Only discomfort can make you bulletproof. You cannot simulate adversity. You must live it. You must walk through it. You must wake to it and train with it and sleep beside it. Discomfort is the proving ground. Discomfort is the temple where men are remade. It is the only place where true power is born. Do not chase pleasure. Pleasure makes you soft. Pleasure dulls your edge. Chase purpose. Chase pain. Chase the version of yourself that lives on the other side of fear. Every second you delay, he grows more distant. Every time you choose comfort, you betray him. You betray your own destiny. You will never find greatness on the couch. You will never find strength in the softness of routine. You will never find power in doing what everyone else does. The wolves do not run in herds. They do not sleep in safety. They hunt alone. They bleed, they suffer, and they thrive. You must become the wolf. The lone force, the fire in the storm. You must walk the path no one else dares tread, not because it is noble, but because it is necessary. Because the world bows not to the clever or the charismatic, it bows to the relentless. To the man who would rather die on his feet than live on his knees, to the man who rises in pain and returns to it by choice. Comfort is not rest. Rest is earned. Rest is a weapon in the hands of the disciplined. But comfort is cowardice. Comfort is the decision to settle, to step back, to lower your sword, and the moment you lower it, you are no longer a warrior, you are prey. You think you have time. You think you'll get serious tomorrow. You think the world will wait for you to find your motivation, but the world moves on, and while you sit in comfort, someone else is training harder. Someone else is bleeding more. Someone else is building what you only dreamed of. And when you meet him, on the battlefield, in business, in life, he will destroy you, not because he's better, but because he chose the fire while you chose the pillow. What you want is on the other side of pain. The body you want, the empire you want, the respect you want, the mind you want, the legacy you want. All of it demands that you suffer more than most are willing to, and that suffering cannot be outsourced. It must be embraced. It must become your home. Train in the cold, rise in the dark, starve when necessary, fight when exhausted, build when broken. These are not just acts of strength. They are declarations. They tell the world that you are not like the rest, that you will not be tamed, that you will not surrender to the soft chains of comfort. You must rewire your mind. You must learn to love what others fear. You must smile when it hurts. You must run toward the fire, not away from it, because only in fire can steel be sharpened, and only in discomfort can your destiny be realized. Look around. Comfort is everywhere. It's in your phone. It's in your food. It's in your relationships. It's in your thoughts, and if you do not kill it, if you do not root it out like a disease, it will grow, it will spread. It will suffocate every ounce of ambition inside you until you are a shadow of the man you were meant to become. So rise, not tomorrow, now. Rise with rage in your blood. Rise with fire in your chest. Rise with the knowledge that every second matters, that every comfort you deny yourself is a brick in the fortress of your future, that every sacrifice you make is a step toward immortality, because in the end, the world remembers only those who refuse to rest, who refuse to be ordinary, who refuse to kneel, and they all began with one decision, to destroy comfort before it destroyed them.